Hey guys, Troy here, back with another video today. Some of you OGs might remember this background here. I'm actually back in the Philippines now. I have my draft tomorrow, so some cool stuff going on in my life right now, but more importantly, we have a brand new video. I'm sorry, I've been away for a while. I have a PSA submission finally back, and it's one of my biggest profits ever. It's only 3 cards in this submission, and I'll give away what they are actually right now. It's 3 Messi cards I bought raw from Mexico just a couple months back. The celebration set, so I have all 3, not the Mega Crack 71, but the other 3, as we call them, alternative Messi rookies. And I actually featured that on the channel when I bought them, so let's take it back. You guys are here to see some Messi rookies. Boom, look at that. Next up, boom, another Messi rookie. I am so happy with the condition these arrived in. So they looked pretty good when I got them. I thought they looked at least solid, but when I was doing the math, even when I was buying them, I think the math I did was if they all get PSA 7s, or it might have even been 6s, I won't lose money. And to be honest, there was even like some comments and stuff. Maybe people were just trolling, but I was a little worried. I was like, man, are these, I don't think they're fake. They look pretty authentic to me when I compare them to the ones I already have in slabs, but I don't know, there's some really good fakes out there, so you never know. I sent them in to PSA service on an express and we got them back. I wish I could tell you guys this was a blind reveal, but I just couldn't help myself. But we did really well. Like I said, this is my biggest profit ever on a PSA submission, and I wanna share with you guys what we got. And also stay tuned towards the end, because it's great and all for me to say, oh, I did so well on this, but I'm not gonna say you can replicate this exactly, because the return was pretty crazy, but I do think there's some takeaways that we can take from this successful adventure, we'll call it, that'll help you guys going forward. But with that being said, let's just get into it. All right, so we got the package here, fresh back from PSA. I won't lie, I do know the grades, but this is my first time actually ever seeing them in person, kind of. And I'm excited to share with you guys. All right, so first Messi, we're gonna kind of slow roll this one. All right, so it's the action shot. I believe this is the 62. One of my favorites. This is the one I actually bought a while ago. We're replacing it. Let's see what we got. Boom, mint 9. I was so happy when I saw this one. Honestly, I would have been happy with 1/8. So right off the bat to get a 9, especially because you guys might remember I owned this exact card in this exact grade, and I bought it for about 1,000 in December. It got all the way up over 7,000, and I felt like I had to sell, so I got rid of it and have the opportunity to replace it with the same exact one for a much cheaper price. Really happy. Out of the 3, honestly, for me, this one might be my favorite looking one. Not that it really matters that much what I think, but once again, to get the 9, to add it to the collection, and to start off on a strong note, I am very happy to see this one right here. Next up, another slow roll, the Autografo. Let's see what we got. We start off with a 9. Can we keep it going? And we have, boom, another 9. Super happy. 2 9s in a row. I literally could not believe it. I remember sitting down and I checked on like the little spreadsheet they have, and I was shocked. I was shocked to see it. Out of all of them, I will say I think I had the best chance on this one, because with the white corners, you can't see whitening or the flaws as easily. I'm not sure exactly how that works if PSA, but at least that's what I've been told. It definitely looks better. So I thought out of all of them, this had the best chance to get a good grade, but 2 9s in a row, blown away. We'll put the projected, I kind of mentioned for the last one, the projected market price, but we'll put it for this one as well. Great looking card, really happy to have it. And last but not least, the potentially most valuable card. This one goes for the most, so I really wanted a good grade on this one. Let's see what we get. And we get an 8. It's funny with those other 2 9s, it makes me almost, I'm not gonna say upset, but I was a little disappointed to see this one got an 8. But if you had just told me, Troy, you will get this one and an 8, I would have been happy from the beginning, even financially. And I bought these a while ago, so they've went up a lot since then. I sent these on an express and I actually got upcharged, something I never would have imagined. I thought maybe even I was, going too far by sending these express, but super happy. I think this is his most desirable out of the 3 in general, at least in terms of prices, if you guys were curious. and it's a tougher grade because of the colors and everything, but once again, to have all three of them in the collection in fairly high grades, so happy. I'll put the price of this one up as well. Ecstatic, I think these are great. I also added the 71 to the collection recently, if you guys have saw. So we'll see, it's gonna be tough. I've already had some trade offers and stuff. I don't have all the capital in the world, so it's gonna be hard to hold on to those 4 cards all together, but we'll see what happens. Really happy either way. But okay, I said at the beginning of the video, that's all well and good. I did well and I enjoy sharing with you guys my journey, but I also want to help you at the end of the day. So what can we take away from this? How can you guys apply this to your investing or collecting or whatever you want to do? I think it shows you that there's a huge opportunity that I've mentioned before, but I'm going to reiterate it, in grading soccer cards, specifically the vintage ones. 2 quick disclaimers before I even get into the numbers, because it is necessary to know. PSA turnaround times are absolutely terrible. That's something you really have to factor in. If you're spending a good amount of your capital, you have to know that that capital could be tied up for a year almost. And sure, it could come back and you could make a nice little profit, but what else could you maybe have done with that money in that time? You could have done NBA playoffs. This is stuff I've learned along the way. So this was a great, once again, adventure for me with grading these messy cards, but that's something you have to consider. And secondly, buying cards raw to grade is inherently a risky business. First of all, specifically with soccer cards, there are fakes out there. I've talked to people and they've DM'd me and they've bought messy rookie cards and they're fake. And I wish there was one way I could tell you, here's 100% how to avoid fakes, but a lot of them are getting really good, so it's hard to tell. And second of all, even if they are real, even if the pictures look great, you're not guaranteed any type of grade. That's why I did the math with those messies. I said, these could come and be in bad condition. But I looked and I saw, okay, I see some PSA 6s and these are pretty beat up. And the cards I was getting, I was like, I think there's a pretty good chance these look better than those just from the pictures I got. But I was prepared for that PSA 6 scenario. So you have to know there's a chance you receive these cards and maybe you miss something in the pictures or PSA just grades them harshly. There's always that downside, so make sure you know that. But that being said, I also think there's a ton of opportunity. Let's take, for instance, a card I've been buying lately for less than $100. Xavi Mundachromo rookie. In a PSA 9, this card goes for $1,200. In a PSA 8, it goes for over $700. And even in a PSA 7, it goes for over $400. So for me, just thinking right there, I'm buying them for less than $100. And sure, that's a little bit of a deal, but that's not an absurd price you can't find anywhere for these cards. The math just works out, even with a $50 grading fee. Even if I'm getting PSA 7s, I'm coming out strongly ahead. And once again, I'll reiterate, even the best laid plans can fall apart. There's a chance I could get a fake one, I could get a 6, I could get a 5. You never know what's gonna happen, but I think everything in the sports card world is a risk. And like I said, for these, the math just kind of checks out. Let's take another one, a modern card, a card I've been talking about for a long time. This is one of the first cards I talked about on the channel, if you guys can remember. But Phil Foden, Optic Raw, picking these up for $20. I'm sure it's a little bit more expensive now, but I think the math will still check out. In a PSA 10, these are going for over $700. So there's that opportunity there, not only with vintage, but with modern to an extent, because there's just not a lot of graded soccer out there. And I was actually talking about this with someone earlier today, but buying raw cards to grade is a lot about common sense. So if you go to their eBay store and they have a bunch of other graded cards, there's probably a reason why this particular one isn't graded. Or for instance, just think about it, Luka Doncic Prism Silver. If you're buying this raw, why would it make sense that this hasn't already been graded? But you can move that common sense over to the positive side for soccer cards. A lot of buyers and people who collect these, especially these older Xavis and stuff, they're in Spain, they're in Mexico, they're in these other countries where up until recently, they basically had no access to PSA grading. And I think people have kind of caught on to this, the Messi rookie cards, the Ronaldo rookie cards, those are kind of gone, they've been snatched up, but I do think the Xavis, the Iniestas of the world, even with certain modern cards like a Phil Foden, I think there's a great opportunity to be had there. And I'm not saying to go after those specific cards, but once again, just to provide a little bit of advice, a takeaway from this video, if there is anything, that once again, I'll reiterate, I think there's a lot of opportunity with grading soccer cards, as long as you know the downsides as well. But all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. It's good to be back. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep the videos coming. Thanks again.